In the sleepy town of Ellsworth, a little bookstore called Whispering Pages stood quaintly at the corner of Maple and Fifth. Its owner, Eliza Jennings, was a woman of middle age with spectacles perched forever on her head and an undying love for books. The bell above the door chimed melodically every time a soul ventured in, seeking refuge among the well-thumbed pages of her literary haven. Eliza knew every book by its spine, and every story by heart. It was a Tuesday when the chime of the door announced the arrival of a stranger, a rare occurrence in a town where everyone knew everyone. The man was tall, in a faded denim jacket, and he moved with an air of subtle disarray. "Good afternoon," Eliza greeted, marking her place in a novel with a sliver of a bookmark. "Anything particular in mind?" The man hesitated, his eyes scanning the labyrinth of shelves. "I'm not sure. Something to lift the spirit, perhaps." That was how their interaction began. Days turned into weeks, and the man, whom Eliza learned to know as Marshall, started appearing more frequently. He talked about his travels, about the cities that blurred behind train windows, and the solitude that seemed to cling to him despite the crowds. Marshall had never really read books. They reminded him of his school days, stuffy classrooms, and heavier expectations. But through Eliza's recommendations, he started to see them as friends. The old man and the sea made him yearn for courage. Pride and Prejudice puzzled him, but taught patience and the subtleties of human connection. Each day, as Marshall left with a new book under his arm, a silent understanding grew between them, unspoken but potent. The stories were not just healing him, but weaving him into the fabric of Ellsworth, a thread that had been missing but was now gradually intertwining. A year passed, and the bookstore became a treasure trove of shared secrets and laughter. The townsfolk began to notice the subtle changes, how Marshall waited by the register, not just for his books, but for those few words with Eliza, how her eyes sparkled a little brighter, her smile lingering longer. Then one evening, as amber hues painted the sky, Marshall didn't come for his usual visit. The bell remained silent. Days stretched into weeks, the leaves began to fall, painting the pavements in hues of gold and amber, then stark white as snow followed. Eliza tried to drown her worries in the rhythm of her books, reshelving, cataloguing, but her spirit matched the grey overcast that winter draped over Ellsworth. After what seemed like the coldest part of winter, the bell chimed again. Eliza looked up, her heart skipping. It wasn't Marshall, but a letter in his coarse handwriting lay waiting. "I've gone to mend some old bridges," it read, "but Ellsworth remains my compass, guiding me back. Wait for me." Eliza held the letter close, his words kindling a warmth that the fire in the hearth could not. She responded the only way she knew how, burying her hopes in the pages of a new novel she started writing, her pen gliding fervently over the pages, inspired by a belief in happy endings and the resilience of genuine connections. Spring blossomed early that year, the snow melting to reveal vibrant daffodils. A familiar figure approached Whispering Pages. The bell chimed like a long-expected melody, and Eliza could barely look up from her manuscript. "It seems I've missed quite a bit." Marshall's voice was tinged with the same gentle curiosity as when he first walked in, searching for something to lift his spirits. Eliza closed the manuscript, her story finished, her heart ready to begin another chapter. "Indeed, but let me get you caught up," she smiled, her bookmark finding its place between the pages.